The text arrived at 11:47 p.m. 3 words that made Marcus Webb's phone feel like it was burning. He broke Mom's arm. Wrong number. Some kid panicking, fingers shaking too hard to type the right digits. Marcus stared at the screen in his darkened bedroom, the glow illuminating the patches on his leather vest hanging nearby. He could delete it, pretend he never saw it. But the message sat there like a gasoline-soaked rag, waiting for a match. Before we start the story, tell me, where in the world are you watching from? We love seeing how far these stories travel. And if you enjoy our stories, please consider subscribing to our channel and don't forget to hit the hype button. Marcus Webb had been a Hells Angels member for 16 years, and in that time, he'd learned that some messages couldn't be ignored. He sat up in bed, his wife Diane stirring beside him. The phone's glow made the tattoos on his forearms look darker snakes coiled around chains, dates that marked losses he'd never forget. He read the text again. Below it, another message appeared. Please help. 24 Ashford Lane. Then nothing. Marcus's thumb hovered over the screen. Every instinct told him this was real, the kind of real that happened in houses with thin walls and neighbors who turned their music up to drown out the sounds they didn't want to hear. He'd grown up in one of those houses. Who's texting this late? Diane asked, her voice thick with sleep. Wrong number, Marcus said. Kid thinks he's texting someone else. Diane propped herself up, reading the concern in his posture. What kind of wrong number? Marcus showed her the screen. Her expression shifted immediately. Nurse's instincts, maybe, or just being human. You're going, she said. It wasn't a question. 20 minutes later, Marcus pulled his Harley into the parking lot of a 24-hour diner on Route 9, his phone pressed to his ear. He'd called Danny and Crow, two brothers from the club who lived closest. They arrived within 10 minutes, their bikes growling into the empty spaces beside his. Danny was 42, built like a refrigerator, with a beard that reached his chest. Crow was younger, leaner, with eyes that missed nothing. Both wore their vests, despite the midnight hour. You sure about this? Danny asked, zipping his jacket against the October cold. Marcus showed them the texts. 24 Ashford Lane. Kid said his mom's arm is broken. Said he did it. Could be a setup, Crow said, but his tone said he didn't believe it. Kid's spelling is terrible, Marcus observed. Look, Mom, instead of Mom. Broke with 2 O's. He's young and scared. Danny exhaled slowly. Ashford Lane is in Millbrook. Working-class neighborhood. Lots of rentals. We knock on the door, Marcus decided. See what's happening. If it's nothing, we leave. If it's something, we handle it. Crow finished. Ashford Lane was exactly what Danny had described, a street of small ranch houses with chain-link fences and cars that had seen better decades. Number 24 sat in the middle of the block. A beige house with peeling paint and a porch light that flickered like it was deciding whether to give up entirely. They killed their engines a block away and walked the rest of the distance. Boots quiet on cracked pavement. No lights showed in the front windows. A rusty swing set stood in the side yard, one swing hanging by a single chain. Marcus checked his phone. 12:31 a.m. No new messages. Lights on in the back window, Crow whispered, pointing. They moved around the side of the house, staying low. Through a gap in the curtains of what looked like a kitchen window, Marcus could see a woman sitting at a table, cradling her left arm against her chest. Even from outside, he could see the unnatural angle of her wrist. Her face was pale, streaked with tears. A man paced behind her, gesturing aggressively. His mouth moved, yelling, probably, though they couldn't hear the words. Then he grabbed her injured arm. The woman's silent scream was visible, even without sound. Marcus didn't remember making the decision to move. One moment he was watching through the window, The next, his fist was hammering on the front door hard enough to rattle the frame. The house went silent. Then footsteps, heavy and deliberate. The door opened 6 inches, held by a chain. A man in his 30s appeared in the gap unshaven, wearing a stained undershirt, eyes red-rimmed and aggressive. "The hell do you want?" Marcus smiled, but there was nothing friendly in it. "Heard someone needed help at this address." "You heard wrong. Get lost." Behind the man, Marcus could see down the hallway into the kitchen. The woman was gone. "That's funny," Marcus said conversationally, "because I got a text from someone here. Kid said his mom got hurt. You know anything about that?" The man's expression shifted, confusion first, then anger. "I don't know what you're talking about. This is my house. Leave before I call the cops." "Please do," Danny said from behind Marcus. "Save us the trouble?" The man's eyes widened as he registered all 3 of them. Leather vests, patches, the unmistakable weight of men who knew violence intimately. "Derek, who's at the door?" A woman's voice, strained and frightened. "Nobody," Derek snapped back. "Stay in the kitchen." But there was another sound, now small feet on stairs, moving fast. A boy appeared in the hallway behind Derek, maybe 9 years old, wearing pajamas with cartoon dinosaurs. His eyes were huge, fixed on Marcus. "You?" The boy whispered. Derek spun around. "Owen, I told you to stay in your room. You texted us," Marcus said, holding the boy's gaze. "Didn't you?" Owen nodded, tears spilling down his cheeks. "I'm sorry. I tried to text Uncle Brian, but I got the numbers wrong, and Mom said it was an accident. She fell, but she didn't fall. He pushed her, and her arm—" "Shut up." Derek lunged for Owen, but the boy was already running toward the door. Marcus made his decision. He drove his shoulder into the door. The chain, old and poorly installed, ripped free from the frame. Derek stumbled backward as Marcus stepped inside, Danny and Crow following. The house smelled like stale beer and something worse, fear, maybe, or just neglect. Derek recovered quickly, squaring up despite being outnumbered. "You can't just break into my house. I'll have you arrested." "For what?" Crow asked mildly, examining the broken chain. "Responding to a child's distress call? Pretty sure that's called being a decent human being." Owen had pressed himself against Marcus's leg, small fingers gripping the leather of his vest. Marcus could feel the boy trembling. He put a hand on Owen's shoulder, gentle, grounding. "Where's your mom?" Marcus asked quietly. "Kitchen," Owen whispered. Marcus looked at Danny, who nodded and moved past Derek toward the back of the house. Derek started to follow, but Crow stepped into his path, arms crossed. "Let's you and me have a conversation," Crow said. "Man to man." From the kitchen came Danny's voice, low and careful. "Ma'am, my name's Danny. We're not here to hurt anyone. Can I see your arm?" Marcus crouched down to Owen's level. "You did good, kid. Texting for help was brave. I'm Marcus. What's your name?" "Owen Pritchard." The boy's voice was barely audible. "It's not what it looks like," Derek said, his aggression faltering under Crow's unwavering stare. "Rachel fell. She's clumsy, always has been. Tell them. Owen, tell them your mom fell down the stairs." Owen's grip on Marcus's vest tightened. The boy said nothing. Marcus stood slowly, keeping himself between Derek and the boy. "Here's what I think happened. I think Rachel didn't fall. I think you got angry about something, doesn't matter what, and you hurt her. Then your son, scared out of his mind, tried to get help. Only he typed the wrong number." "You don't know anything," Derek snarled. "I know broken bones," Marcus said flatly. "Seen plenty. And I know the look on a kid's face when he's watching someone he loves get hurt and can't do anything about it." Danny emerged from the kitchen, his expression grim. Wrists definitely broken. She needs a hospital. She's also got bruises on her ribs, her neck. This wasn't from falling downstairs. Derek's face flushed red. She's my wife. This is my house. You have no right? Your wife? Marcus cut him off. Or your punching bag? Rachel appeared in the hallway, cradling her arm. She was petite, maybe 30, with brown hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. Her left eye was swollen, purple-black in the harsh overhead light. She looked at the three bikers with something between hope and terror. "Please," she said softly. "Just go. You'll make it worse." "Ma'am, we can't do that," Danny said. "Your arm needs medical attention. Your son reached out for help." "He shouldn't have done that," Rachel said. But she was looking at Owen with such raw love that Marcus felt something crack in his chest. "Baby, you should be in bed." "He broke your arm, Mom," Owen said, tears streaming now. "I heard it snap. I heard you scream." Derek took a step forward. "This is between me and my family." Crow's hand shot out, gripping Derek's shoulder hard enough to make him wince. "You're not moving anywhere near them right now." Marcus pulled out his phone. "I'm calling an ambulance." "And the police?" "No." Rachel's voice cracked. "Please, no police. Derek will lose his job. We'll lose the house." "I can't. Owen needs." Marcus understood immediately. He'd seen this pattern before, the fear that went deeper than physical pain. Rachel wasn't just scared of Derek. She was scared of losing everything she'd built to keep her son safe, even if that safety was an illusion. "Rachel," Marcus said carefully, "your boy texted strangers for help in the middle of the night. That's how bad things are. You know that, right?" Her face crumpled. Fresh tears spilled over her bruised cheek. Derek sensed an opening. "Baby, tell them. Tell them it was an accident. We can work this out ourselves, like always." "Like always?" Owen's voice was small but furious. "You mean like when you broke the lamp over her head? Or when you pushed her into the bathroom mirror?" "I'm not stupid, Derek. I know what you do." The room went absolutely still. "Owen, that's enough," Rachel whispered. But Owen stepped away from Marcus, facing Derek directly. The boy was shaking, but his voice didn't waver. "You're not my dad. My real dad died when I was 4. Mom said you'd be good to us. You said you'd take care of us." Derek's expression twisted into something ugly. "You ungrateful little—" He never finished. Marcus moved between them so fast, it barely registered. One moment Derek was advancing. The next he was against the wall, with Marcus's forearm across his throat. "You don't get to talk to him," Marcus said quietly. "You don't get to look at him. You don't even get to breathe in his direction. Understand?" Derek tried to push back, but Danny was there too. And between the two of them, Derek might as well have been made of paper. Crow had his phone out already. "Ambulance is 3 minutes away. Police right behind them." "No, please," Rachel started. "Ma'am, I hear you," Danny said gently. "But your son is 9 years old, and he's standing here describing a pattern of abuse that's been going on for God knows how long. That ends tonight. Not next week. Not when you figure things out. Tonight." Rachel sank into a chair in the hallway, cradling her broken arm, crying silently. Owen crossed to her, carefully avoiding her injuries, and pressed his face against her good shoulder. "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry." The ambulance arrived with lights, but no siren. Someone had called ahead requesting discretion. 2 paramedics entered, a woman in her 40s with kind eyes and a younger man carrying a medical kit. They assessed Rachel quickly, professionally, asking questions about pain levels and range of motion. "Definitely fractured," the woman paramedic said. "We need to get you to County General." "Can you walk?" Rachel nodded, standing shakily. Owen stayed glued to her side. 2 police officers arrived moments later, a sergeant named Kowalski, gray-haired and weathered, and a younger officer whose nameplate read Chun. Kowalski took one look at the scene and sighed like he'd seen this movie 100 times before. Who called it in? Kowalski asked. I did, Crow said. Got a text from the kid asking for help. We came to check it out. Kowalski's eyes moved to the patches on their vests, recognition flickering. Hell's Angels responded to a domestic disturbance text message. That's a new one. Kid got the number wrong, Marcus explained. Sent it to me instead of whoever he meant to reach. We came anyway. Officer Chun was taking photographs, Rachel's injuries, the broken door chain, the general state of the house. In the kitchen, Marcus could see dishes piled in the sink, empty beer bottles lined up on the counter. Signs of something broken long before tonight. Derek had gone quiet, sullen, his earlier bravado evaporating under official scrutiny. I want a lawyer, he muttered. You'll get one, Kowalski said, after we process you. Ma'am, do you want to press charges? Rachel looked at Owen, then at her mangled wrist, then at Derek. The silence stretched. She doesn't have to decide right now, the female paramedic interjected. She needs medical treatment first. The hospital has advocates who can help walk her through options. I'll press charges, Owen said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at him. I'm a witness, aren't I? I saw everything. I heard Mum screaming. I saw him grab her arm and twist it until it broke. Derek's face drained of color. You little... Enough, Kowalski snapped. Derek Pritchard, you're under arrest for domestic assault. Turn around. The handcuffs clicked with a sound that seemed to echo through the small house. Rachel rode to the hospital in the ambulance. Owen started to follow, but the paramedics gently explained there wasn't room. They needed space to work. Panic flooded the boy's face until Marcus crouched beside him. We'll take you, Marcus said. On my bike. You ever ridden a motorcycle? Owen shook his head, eyes wide. It's loud and it's cold, but I promise you'll get there safe. And I promise we won't leave until you and your mum are okay. Deal? Owen looked at Sergeant Kowalski, who nodded approval. These men helped you tonight, son. They'll get you to your mother. 10 minutes later, Owen sat in front of Marcus on the Harley, wearing Danny's spare jacket that hung to his knees. Marcus had wrapped a bandana around the boy's ears under a borrowed helmet. Danny and Crow flanked them as they pulled out of Ashford Lane. The ride to County General took 15 minutes. Owen didn't speak, but Marcus felt the exact moment the boy stopped shaking somewhere around mile marker 7, when the fear started giving way to exhaustion. The kid's head drooped against Marcus's chest. The emergency room was fluorescent bright and smelled like antiseptic and bad coffee. Rachel sat in a wheelchair near the intake desk, her arm already splinted. When she saw Owen, relief washed over her face so completely that Marcus had to look away. Baby, she breathed as Owen ran to her. I'm sorry I texted, Owen said into her shoulder. I know you said not to tell anyone, but Mum, your arm. You did exactly right, Rachel said fiercely. You hear me? You were so brave. A social worker appeared, a woman named Patricia, with silver-streaked hair and a clipboard. She explained the process gently. Rachel would need surgery to set the bone properly. Owen would stay with her tonight under hospital observation. And in the morning, they discussed next steps regarding housing and protection orders. Do you have family nearby? Patricia asked. Someone Owen can stay with long-term if needed? Rachel's expression faltered. My brother Brian lives 2 hours away in Ashford Waite. She looked at Marcus suddenly. Owen tried to text his uncle. You said he got the number wrong? Marcus pulled out his phone, showing her the original message. Rachel's hand flew to her mouth. He transposed 2 digits, Rachel whispered. Brian's number ends in 47. Yours ends in 74. Lucky mistake? Crow said quietly. Or maybe not a mistake at all, Danny added, glancing at Marcus. Patricia made notes. I'll need to contact Brian, verify he's appropriate placement. In the meantime, Owen can stay here tonight. We have a family room. Marcus started to leave, sensing his part was done. But Owen's voice stopped him. Wait. The boy pulled away from his mother, crossing to Marcus. Thank you. For coming. For believing me. You texted for help, Marcus said simply. Someone had to answer, but you didn't have to. Owen's eyes were red-rimmed, but clear. You could have deleted it. Ignored it. People ignore things all the time. Marcus thought about his own childhood, his father's fists, his mother's silence, the neighbors who heard everything and did nothing. He thought about all the times he'd wished someone, anyone, would just show up. He crouched to Owen's level. Listen to me, kid. What happened tonight wasn't your fault. Not your mom's injuries, not the cops coming, none of it. That's all on Derek. You did the hardest thing, you asked for help. Owen nodded, wiping his eyes with the too long sleeve of Danny's jacket. Will you come back? To check on us? Marcus glanced at Rachel, who looked at him with an expression he couldn't quite read, gratitude mixed with uncertainty. If your mom says it's okay. Rachel was quiet for a moment. Then she said softly, You saved us tonight. All 3 of you. I don't know how to thank you for that. Don't need thanks, Danny said. Just need to know you two are going to be all right. Patricia cleared her throat gently. Mrs. Pritchard, we should get you into surgery prep. The orthopedic surgeon is waiting. As the social worker wheeled Rachel toward the double doors, Owen trailing behind, the boy turned back one more time. He raised his hand in a small wave. Marcus returned it, and they were gone, swallowed by the hospital's sterile corridors. The 3 bikers stood in the waiting room, suddenly aware of how out of place they looked among the worried families and exhausted medical staff. A security guard eyed them warily from across the room. We done here? Crow asked. Yeah, Marcus said. We're done. But walking out felt wrong somehow, like leaving something unfinished. They didn't go home. Instead, they ended up at the clubhouse on Route 9, a converted garage that served as the chapter's meeting place. It was nearly 3 in the morning, but several members were still there, Hank working on a carburetor in the corner, Jimmy and Reese playing cards at a scarred wooden table. You 3 look like hell, Hank observed. Wiping grease from his hands, Marcus grabbed a beer from the fridge, twisting off the cap. Got a weird text tonight. Kid asking for help. By the time he finished explaining, everyone had stopped what they were doing. The card game sat abandoned. Hank's wrench lay forgotten on the workbench. Kid just texted a random number? Jimmy asked, incredulous. Wrong number, Crow corrected. Was trying to reach his uncle. Fat-fingered it. Reese leaned back in his chair, studying Marcus. And you went anyway. Middle of the night. Could have been anything. Could have been a kid getting his skull cracked while his mother's arm was broken, Marcus said flatly. Wasn't going to sit there wondering. The room fell silent. Everyone here had their own stories, childhoods that left scars, families that failed, systems that looked the other way. Derek Pritchard, Danny said suddenly. That name familiar to anyone? Hank frowned, thinking. Pritchard works at the distribution center off Highway 12, doesn't he? Loading docks? That's him, a new voice said. They turned to see Bishop, the chapter president, emerging from the back office. He was 56, built like a mountain, with gray streaks in his beard and eyes that missed nothing. Heard you 3 went on a rescue mission tonight. News travels fast, Marcus said. Police scanner, Bishop replied, pouring himself coffee. Heard the address, heard the Hells Angels mentioned. Figured it was you, Marcus. You've always been soft for kids in trouble. There was no judgment in the statement, just observation. Derek's worked at that warehouse for 3 years, Bishop continued. Showed up to a poker game once. Sore loser. Got mouthy when he lost $50. We didn't invite him back. He paused. Didn't know he had a family. Wife and stepson, Crow said. Had. He's in county lockup now. Bishop nodded slowly. Good. World's got enough of his type already. Marcus spent the next 3 days unable to shake the image of Owen's face, the boy's fear. His courage, the way he'd stood up to Derek, despite being terrified. On Tuesday afternoon, Marcus's phone buzzed with an unknown number. Mr. Webb? This is Patricia Chun from County General. I'm the social worker assigned to the Pritchard case. Owen asked me to call you. Marcus's grip tightened on the phone. Is he okay? He's fine. His mother had successful surgery. They're being discharged tomorrow. Owen's Uncle Brian arrived yesterday. He's been cleared as temporary guardian while Rachel recovers. But Owen wanted me to give you his uncle's number. He said he wants to thank you properly. Patricia rattled off the number. Marcus saved it, staring at the digits that were so close to his own. That evening, he called. A man answered mid-30s, cautious. This is Brian Pritchard. Brian, my name is Marcus Webb. I'm the one who received Owen's text on Saturday. There was a sharp exhale. You're one of the bikers. Patricia told me. Jesus, I can't believe if Owen had gotten my number right. I would have driven down immediately, but I was 2 hours away. 2 hours can be a lifetime in situations like that, Marcus said. Don't beat yourself up. I knew Derek was bad news. Brian's voice cracked slightly. I told Rachel, but she said he'd changed, that he was good with Owen. I should have pushed harder. Should have visited more. Would have, should have, could have, Marcus said quietly. I know that game. It doesn't help anyone. Brian was silent for a moment. Owen wants to meet you again. Says he needs to say something in person. Rachel does too. They're staying with me for now. I've got a place in Cedarville. Would you be willing to come by? Maybe this weekend? Marcus thought about Diane, about the club, about whether staying involved was wise. Then he thought about Owen's small hand, waving goodbye in that hospital corridor. Saturday work? Marcus asked. Saturday's perfect. After hanging up, Marcus sat on his back porch, watching the sun sink behind the pine trees that bordered his property. Diane came out, handing him a fresh beer. You're going to see them, she said. Not a question. Yeah. Good, Diane said simply, settling into the chair beside him. That boy needs to know people follow through. Some messages aren't mistakes. Owen's text found exactly who it needed to someone who remembered what silence costs, who knew that courage lives in small hands reaching for help. Marcus would visit Saturday, not as a hero, just as someone who answered when a child called into the dark. Sometimes that's enough.